Всем привет и добро пожаловать на подкаст. I have been asked to do a video on the hardest parts, my hardest parts of learning Russian. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to go through what I found most difficult about learning Russian so far. Now, I have only been learning for 11 weeks, nearly 12 weeks. So it's not very long. Weeks is недела, I think. I might be able to say that. Я have been learning. That's past tense. So, я учила русский язык. I'm going to say 12. 12 неделя. That might have been wrong. Okay, I could probably start with that as one of the hardest parts. Absolutely. My number one hardest part is the vocabulary is there. I'm learning the words and that's great, but I'm struggling to put it into the sentences. And then I'm actually trying to put it into the sentences and talking to you about it. And it's absolutely terrifying because I know that I screw up. My Russian is very questionable. It is. But I've only been doing it for 12 weeks. So I kind of feel like I can give myself a break a little bit. You've all been absolutely amazing. Every time I've tried to talk to you, every time I've made a mistake, I want the corrections because the only way that I'm going to learn is by getting the corrections. And you always give it to me. You're all like amazing. And I am learning loads and it's really great. And then, of course, I have those days where I feel like I'm not making any progress whatsoever. And that's really hard. What else is amazing is the fact that I'll ask a question about something that I don't understand and then just everybody flocks in and gives me the answers to it. And it's just absolutely amazing because my knowledge is just increasing and increasing and increasing. And I know that there's still a lot to learn. I get to the point where I find out one of the mistakes that I've made and I'm like, I've been saying that for weeks and I've been saying it wrong. Why did nobody tell me? Seriously, guys, tell me. If I'm doing it wrong, you have to tell me. But then there's the endings. There are what, 6 cases? 7? Шесть. Или 7. There are so many cases, which means so many endings to everything, and I'm changing the nouns and I'm changing the adjectives, and I'm like trying to wrap my head around which one do I have to change and which one do I have to put? Is it going into the genitive case? Is it going into the dative case? It's a lot, but I'm loving it. It's great. It's hard. It is hard. And I know there's questions. There's something about questions. You put questions at the end and that helps you to decide which one it is. And I can't remember what the questions are because sometimes it just doesn't sink in and it just kind of goes in my eyes and just out my ears. And it's a slow process, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. It really helps that the word order doesn't matter so much. So I can kind of put it into my English logic sentence. I know that the word order isn't always the same, but the fact that I can still put it into my English logic and you know what I'm talking about really helps. But yeah, it's trying to put it together. There's been times where I've kind of popped into a translator and I've thought, okay, I don't know how to say this. And then I've gone into the translator and I've seen how to say it. And then I've been kicking myself because I'm like, I knew all of those words. Every single one of those words, I could have put this sentence together. So I think it's just a case of trying to build up my confidence a little bit more in recognizing that I know the words. Not all of them. But I know the words and I can put these sentences together. So like in the comments, I'm trying to read them and figure out what they're saying. And I probably get about 30% of it now, which is pretty good, I think. And then once I've kind of figured out what it is that's, being said in the comments, I then try and write it in my own way. There's still a lot that I can't write in my own way yet. Can't do it myself, but I'm trying. Not to mention the fact that everything has a gender. The door has a gender. It's not just it. Over here, it's it. It is the door. what even is it? Devier. So that's masculine. So it's on. Devier. On. It's on, right? I don't even know. One of my subscribers said that they saw somebody put sticky notes around the house and that they wrote what the word is for them. And then as they go in around the house, they could see what they are and would learn the words really easily. And I thought that was an amazing idea. So stick these sticky notes all around my house, right? And then as I'm going around, I'm noticing that sticky note is gone, and that sticky note is gone, and that sticky note is gone, because of course I have little children around this house. Little children. Почему я? No. Почему у меня есть дети? I think. Do I need to change the ending of дети? See, I don't know. Почему у меня есть 6 детей? I think. They touch everything. I think the other part that I'm really struggling with as well is I want to run faster than I can walk. I really, really want to be able to do this video in Russian. Like, there's subtitles, but you have to turn on the subtitles. And if you don't turn on the subtitles, you can't understand me. And I really want you to be able to understand me. And I really want to be able to just like pour all of this out to you in Russian so that you do understand me. And I think that's another thing that I'm struggling with as well. Accepting the fact that I have to speak to you in English at the moment and let my emotions communicate with you as much as, or more than at the moment, my words, simply because that language barrier is there. And I am going to break through that language barrier, and I am going to, my goal is in a year I want to do a video, or a year into learning I want to do a video completely in Russian, but I'm still working towards that. And so I love you all so much, and I want to be able to communicate with you properly in your language, and I know that it's a process. It's not just about grammar for me as well, it's about culture, identity. I don't know if identity is the right word. Like, okay, я англичанка, and это хорошо. Okay, I love being an Englishwoman. I like being your Englishwoman. I like, yeah, I love being able to learn about you, and I guess I'm trying to show. Oh, I don't want this to come out wrong. I don't want this to sound wrong. I'm trying to prove that an English heart and a Russian soul can beat in the same chest. That sounds really presumptuous. I'm sorry. I know that Russian soul is a really precious thing, and I don't want to assume that I have one. That's not what I'm trying. Oh my goodness, I'm speaking my native language and I'm still falling over myself. I respect it very much, and I am an Englishwoman. Yeah, Anglichanka. No, yeah. Я не хочу быть просто англичанка. Oh, I don't know if I said that right. I don't want to just be the Englishwoman on the side of it. I want to be a part of the Russian soul. I might be digging myself a bigger hole here. Oh my goodness. It's like I posted a short asking what что отчество, and I got loads of comments all talking about it, and I got to the point in there that it's amazing. The idea of being able to carry your father's name with you feels very respectful. When it talked about Oh, I might be saying that wrong. The fatherland. I love the idea that it feels like security and honor, and carrying your father's name around with you as well also feels like a very honorous. Oh my goodness. It's respectful, and it's wonderful, and I really, really like that, and so I want one. Я тоже хочу. So I asked if it was possible for me to have a patronymic, and I got a message through telling me that I am an Anglichanka and I can't have one because foreigners don't get that honor. And it really stung. Like, it gave me like an ache in my throat and everything, and it kind of like brought me down a little bit, because I know that it's a Russian thing, and I know that we don't have it in our passports or anything like that, but there's just been so many amazing comments that have kind of talked about me getting a Russian soul, wishing me luck, being very accepting, and I guess I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of the gang, the people. I don't just want to be the entertainment, I'd like to be accepted, and not have like this barrier. There's this great big stinking barrier wall up at the moment, trying to paint everybody as enemies, and I'm going to leave that part there, because this is not a politics channel, and I'm not getting into any of that. This is about the beauty of Russia and learning about and loving the culture and loving the people, all of you. I'm rambling. I guess it's imposter syndrome. I don't know how you say that in Russian. I'm trying really hard to learn about the language and the culture and the Russian soul, and I'm fighting for my Russian soul. But I also really want to express and show my respect and love towards you as a people, and I guess I just don't want to be seen as the entertainment. I'd like to be accepted and be counted as a friend, a friend of your friend. I want to be your friend. How do I say that? Я хочу. Друг is masculine. Is it? Я хочу твой друг. Oh, I'm certain I said that wrong. I think that's something that I find kind of hard, trying to deal with the imposter syndrome part of it, where I'm very aware that you're Anglichanka and you are Russian. And the world puts so much emphasis on the barrier between us, and I've had a lot of backlash about choosing to study Russian. There's no shortage of people who tell me that I shouldn't be doing it, but I'm not going to stop, because this feels good and it feels right, and this is becoming a passion. Actually, I'm falling in love with what I'm learning. I love the sound of the language, and the more I meet you and the more I get to know you, the more I'm falling in love with you. So I'm not stopping, and I'm not sorry. The smiley faces, the Russian smiley faces that you do, I spent the first many weeks really confused about why you were all leaving brackets at the end of your comments to me. It took a while. It took a while to figure out what it meant. Once I did find out what it meant, I then started using them, and I maybe I liked it. Actually, it was really good fun, but it felt weird because, well, we in the West use a colon and then a bracket, like that. So I was trying to get rid of the colon, and now it happens naturally, and it feels right now, to the point that I've done it a couple of times to people over here while I've been sending messages, and then I've been like, they're not gonna know what that means. I'm trying to build a foundation of the things that I'm learning. So I'm starting from the beginning, so in the past, where I'm learning about the culture, because I think there's a lot more depth that comes with learning about the Russian soul and learning about the culture while I'm also learning the words. I'm not interested in just learning the language. I want to understand it all properly. So I've been reading Pushkin, I've been reading Yesenin, I've been watching Soviet films, and I'm loving them. But I'm also aware that I don't want to be stuck in like 1975, because then when I come and visit Russia, I'm going to be coming expecting like Pushkin times and Soviet times, and I'm going to get there and everything's going to be modern slang and technology, and I'm like going to struggle to balance the romance of the past with the reality of the present. I need to get a good balance there, and I need to look into modern culture as well as past culture, which is actually something I was hoping you would help me with. And I guess I'm going to post a short about this at some point as well, so that I can, hopefully get more advice. But I would like recommendations. I'd like recommendations on what kind of things that I should look at. Tell me your favorite modern day music people, singers, musicians, artists, literature, everything. Tell me. I know that literature is a questionable one for me right now. I can maybe look into children's books. Any recommendations for children's books? I can have a look. It's so hard to get Russian things over here. I'm trying. I'm really trying. Sometimes I think, because I'm British, that I'll never truly get it. I think the hardest part for me is not so much the cases or the vocabulary or anything like that. I think it's the fear that no matter how hard I try, I might still be seen as an outsider. And I get it. I do. I know that things are very different over there. That you have this shared history and strength and growth that's come that I haven't been a part of. But I'm hoping to understand that, and I guess, like I said before, I'm hoping to show that an English heart and a Russian soul can beat in the same chest. And I think I'm doing okay. I reached 100 subscribers, which I'm like insanely, I'm still, it still feels surreal. There's 100 Russian people who are actually following me, and haven't rejected me, and that just feels amazing, to know that I can share this with you and actually reach you. And I figure if I can just bring any love or respect or peace into your lives, even as an Anglichanka, then I'm achieving my desire. You know me. You've seen me cry, okay? I do that. I cry. Once those gates open, it's hard to close them. I have my days where I struggle a little bit, but I'm loving every second of it. And even though it is hard, I think nothing worthwhile or worth getting is worth getting if there isn't a battle to it, right? You've given me diminutives, and you've given me patronymics, and I feel so grateful to have the tools and the ability to be able to reach out to you. And I know that things aren't easy at the moment. I know that there's a lot of opposition. I think it's important to remember that no matter what's going on in the world, we're not enemies. I think in a day and age where so much hate is being delivered, I want to be one of the ones who give love. And it's a lonely journey, and it's hard, and there's an awful lot of people who don't understand that. But I mean what I say, and I'm not sorry for it, and I'm not gonna stop. So, yeah. I risk telling you I'm romantically in love with you right now because I don't know another way to say it, but я люблю тебя. Bolshoi. I think that's it for the hardest things about learning Russian. I don't know if this video was enlightening at all, and I'm pretty sure I rambled like the entire time. But yeah. Спасибо за просмотр. Пожалуйста, подписывайте. I think that's right. До завтра. Пока.